Hello and welcome to Yoga with Freedom of Movement. My name is Fontaine. I've also got my good friend Maddie here, and today we're going to be guiding you through your yoga practice. So for this class, we're going to start laying on our back. Laying on our back, facing towards the sky. Just relaxing through here, palms facing the sky, perhaps toes lightly turned out. And let's close down those eyes as we draw that focus inwards. Breathing down deep and noticing that rise and fall of your belly button. Breathing down all the way in and out through the nose. And as you exhale, letting go a little bit more tension, allowing yourself to completely relax. As you focus here and onto this present moment, just letting everything else go. But instead listening to your body, just doing what feels right, what feels good. Beautiful. From here, let's draw those knees up and into our chest. Softening the shoulders, deepening that breath. We take our knees through some nice circles, as big or as little as you would like. Circling on through. As you draw these circles with your knees, noticing any areas of tension, any areas of restriction. Just taking note of those spots and working through them. Beautiful. And let's take those circles in the opposite direction. Once again, noticing any areas where the body doesn't really want to move. Just working on through. Excellent. From here, lengthening out the body, reaching those arms up and overhead, pointing our toes. Feeling some wonderful length throughout the entire body, reaching as far as you can, pointing those toes and welcoming a yawn if there's one there. Beautiful. From here, we're bringing it into our banana pose, creating a nice crescent shape with our body. We're going to walk those feet along to that bottom right hand corner of your mat. Those hands on up to the top right hand corner of the mat. From here, we're breathing into that left hand side, keeping our shoulders in contact with the earth. And feeling this gentle stretch along that left hand chain. Good. We gently bring it across and onto the opposite side. Feet down to that bottom left hand corner, hands reaching up to that top left hand corner. Breathing into that right hand side this time. Softening the shoulders. And gently bringing it back to center. Let's draw those knees up and into our chest, crossing our ankles. We take it for a rock and roll up and down the mat. Breathing and rolling as much or as little as you would like. Rocking forwards and rocking on back. And then when you next find yourself in that seated position, hands come down in front, hips lift up, we find our downward facing dog. Taking a moment to pause and breathe in your downward facing dog, opening up the shoulders, bringing on a nice stretch along the backs of your legs, along the backs of the calves. Hips are lifted, And perhaps we're gently walking out our dog here as we alternate those heels down and into the earth. Nice and gentle as we walk out our dog. Excellent, finding a nice neutral position. We're working into some half series flows. So let's shift our weight through to find that high or kneeling plank. Pausing here for a moment and noticing that length from the crown of your head all the way down through the body. So we're going to keep our elbows close as we control our chest all the way down to the earth here, all the way down. Good, we're opening up to find our cobra, squeezing shoulder blades together, or our up dog, pressing our hands through the mat and noticing that our thighs are not in contact with the earth. And then pressing on back to find your downward facing dog, hips are lifted. And this is our half series flow. So let's shift that weight through once again, finding your high or kneeling plank. Shoulders stay away from ears as we control it down to the mat. Opening up, you find your cobra or up dog. And pressing on back into your downward facing dog, taking it through one more time, pulling that weight forwards, your high or kneeling plank. Controlling on down to the earth. Opening up here, your cobra or up dog. And pressing on back to your downward facing dog. And let's give ourselves a moment to breathe as we sit back and into our child's pose, resting our hips onto our heels and arms wherever feels comfortable. From here, drawing it back and onto your breath, relaxing the upper body, relaxing the lower body, and just breathing on through. Lovely. Let's bring it back on up and into our downward facing dog. From here, walking or floating our feet up, we find our forward fold. From here, bending our knees as much as we need to keep those lower ribs in contact with our thighs. This way we ensure the lower back stays nice and safe. From here, our forward fold, we take it halfway and into our monkey pose, pushing those hips back, flattening out the spine. Good, relaxing it forwards, back to our forward fold. Once again, finding halfway here in your monkey pose, keeping that weight shifted a little bit further back. There we go. Good, relaxing it forward. And let's circle sweep all the way on. I'm drawing a big circle. Hands come down by our sides. We find our mountain pose, standing tall. Taking a moment here in our mountain pose, bringing our attention to our feet. Making sure we have those arches, which are found here on the inside of each foot. Keeping those arches lifted. Good, we've got our hips underneath our ribs and we're feeling that length through the crown of our head. Wonderful. From our mountain pose, we're going to step our right foot back and into a nice wide stance. And we're going to make our way into our moonflowers. So here we now have our toes pointing towards that long edge of the mat. Good. So with our moon flowers, we're going to circle sweep those arms up and overhead, drawing that big circle once again. Good. And then we're going to draw those elbows into our sides, sinking our hips all the way down, keeping that heart space lifted. Good. Circle sweeping up once again. And we're sinking on down. Finding that moonflower pose, pressing our knees out to the sides, keeping those arches lifted. Circle sweeping back up. Good, and sinking down once again. Opening, squeezing shoulder blades together. Heart space lifted, pressing knees out to the sides. Circle sweeping back up. And sinking down one more time. We're going to hold here at the bottom. Good, holding here. Pulling up through our arches to really open up the hips. Keeping your heart space lifted. Still breathing. Holding here for one more breath, everybody. Excellent, and gently lifting back up. Let's step that right foot back on through, back to our mountain pose. Circle sweeping our arms up and overhead. And we're folding in half from here. Back to that forward fold. Our hands find the mat, we step it on back, our downward facing dog. And from here, taking it back through another half series flow as we shift our weight forwards, that high or kneeling plank. Controlling on down to the earth. Opening up into your cobra or up dog. And pressing on back to find your downward facing dog. Excellent. Once again, let's pedal it out here in our downward facing dog as we alternate those heels down into the earth. Good. And gently bring it down to a seated position. From the seated position, we bring it down and onto our back. We're bringing it into a nice, gentle inversion. We're simply going to lift those feet on up to the sky, and with our hands just interlacing back behind your legs, or maybe holding onto each leg. And just let's take some nice, deep breaths through here, softening through the shoulders, breathing down into the belly. Getting a gentle sensation of being upside down. Good, and then gently releasing those feet on down to the mat. We have our knees bent and those feet are in contact with the mat. Ankles together, knees together. From here, a gentle twist. We are controlling those knees down to the right hand side, keeping our shoulders in contact with the mat, going as far as you feel comfortable. Good, and gently bring it across and over onto the opposite side, controlling those knees down to the left. Feeling that wonderful twist throughout the entire length of your spine. Good, and bring it back across to the right. So from here, you're going to shift it across at your own pace from left to right. Just feeling that twist all the way from your hips to the base of your head. Gently twisting from side to side. And you may like that neck to join in as well. So as you control those knees down to the right hand side, we're gently looking over that left hand shoulder. And when those knees come down to the left, we're softly looking over that right hand shoulder. Nice, gentle twist. Beautiful. And then let's find yourself a nice, comfortable position. Perhaps that's laying on your back with your toes lightly turned out. And from here, let's bring our fingertips onto our belly. Just resting our hands there, closing down our eyes. And from here, focusing on that rise and fall of your breath. As you exhale, seeing if you can let go of a little bit more tension. As you exhale, seeing if you can surrender that little bit further, surrendering to gravity. Breathing down deep. Feeling that rise and fall of your breath. Relaxing the face. Good, and let's gently welcome back some movement through the fingers and toes. Maybe some small neck movements as we draw a bit of a circle with our nose. And then from here, rolling onto your favorite side. Maybe using your arm as a bit of a pillow. Just resting here for a moment. Letting go of any last bits of lingering tension. Perfect. Pressing on up and into a seated position. We still have those eyes softly closed. As you find your seated position, you feel that length through the very crown of your head. You feel that softness in your shoulders. And feel that depth in your breath. And then gently bringing hands to heart center. We can give thanks for our yoga practice today. Namaste, everybody. And thank you kindly for letting me guide you through your yoga practice.